All right. Now that we have our EC2 instances, all right, we have our private EC2 that we cannot SSH into, which was the goal for now. And then we have a public EC2 instance that we can SSH into, but we're not done with because we just SSH'd into it. We didn't do anything with it. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the instructions. So first I'm going to open up the instance, then I'm going to go to connect, and then I'm going to go to my SSH client, and I'm going to go ahead and copy this example command. And then I'm going to paste it in. And now I am logged into my virtual machine. Okay. The next thing that I want to do is I want to install NGINX onto my EC2 instance. NGINX is a server, okay? So there's lots of things that you can do with NGINX, okay? Pretty much the point of it for this deploy in public workshop is going to be we're using it as a reverse proxy server, which means that when we load the public URL for the public IP address for this instance, we want to redirect traffic eventually to our application that's running in a private subnet on a private instance, okay? For this exercise, though, we just want to load the public IP address, and we want to see the NGINX server homepage. So when NGINX is running and you hit it, you ping the server, you see their welcome to NGINX homepage, and that's the goal of this exercise right here, okay? By the end of this video, we hope that we can see the welcome to NGINX homepage, all right? So what do we need to do? We are in an Amazon Linux machine. All right, so the first thing that we want to do is we want to install NGINX. So we are going to type in sudo yum install NGINX. All right. Now it's going ahead and it's saying it went to the internet and it's getting all of this and it's saying, is it okay if I download all of this? This is the same thing as you going and finding something on the internet and being like, oh, I would love to download that application to my computer and then clicking download. Okay, we're just doing this on a virtual machine. We're on a computer is somewhere else away from us. We logged into it with our key pair, SSHing into it, and now we are downloading an application onto it. We're downloading NGINX. And now we have that our download is complete. Okay, so all we did was install some software on a computer. All right, the next thing that we're going to do is sudo systemctl, and then we're going to say start, not start NGINX. Okay. So that was a good message in that there was no message. No sign is a good sign. Okay. Sudo is going to be like advanced privileges. So that's going to allow us to do more because we're going to be using it as the root user versus just typing the command. So if you ever get unauthorized, try to throw sudo in there and it will hopefully work. All right. So now we have installed NGINX. Okay. What we want to do here is we want to hit that NGINX endpoint, right? We want to ping that server and we want to see what happens if we get a response. The way that we can do that from within our virtual machine is the same way that you would load an application that you just coded on your personal laptop. You would go and you would type in localhost in your browser at whatever the port is and then click it, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to say curl localhost and then enter. And what that is going to do is it's going to send a request to localhost. And what's running on localhost? Well, our NGINX server is. And you can see that what comes back is an HTML page. And that HTML page is saying, welcome to NGINX. So we successfully downloaded NGINX to a virtual machine. We started the server and we were able to make a request to it and see the homepage. But that's not all we want to do. right? Because the whole point of deploying something is that we don't want to use localhost. We want to take an application that's on our personal computer and we want to put it on the internet. We want to be able to access it from a different computer somewhere else. All we did here was access our application locally on a virtual computer. So I guess it's a step forward, but we're not done yet. Okay, so what we need to do then is we need to go back to our instance. You can see this is our public instance. And then now, do you remember when we had that enabled the public IP address? Well, here it is. So we're going to copy the public IP address and we're going to go and we're going to go put it in our browser. And as you can see, this is not looking great. It's just spinning, okay? And why is it spinning? You have to, when something's not working in deployment, it's just not as simple as like, let's throw a console login and see what happens, right? You have to really think through like, what is the computer trying to do right now? So we are trying to communicate from the public internet to our virtual machine, all right? So that would be an inbound traffic. So where did we look at inbound traffic before? Well, we created a rule for inbound traffic in our security group. When you look, the only inbound rule that we have and that we're allowing is that we can SSH at port 22, all right? And that's from specifically my computer. So this isn't going to work because this isn't SSHing from my personal computer into the virtual machine. So we're going to need to edit our security group. So I'm going to click on the security group, and then I should be able to edit inbound rules. And then I'm going to add a rule, and I want to be able to do HTTP traffic. Port 80 is perfect. All right, so this finished site cannot be reached. Okay, I'm still trying. All right. And we can do anywhere. We could do from specifically my IP address. I'm going to go ahead and say anywhere because we want this available publicly on the internet. But you can definitely wrap this up and make a bunch of different rules, and that would be really cool to kind of dig into. So we're going to save it. All right. And now that we saved it, we should be able to hopefully, yeah. And did you see? And now we loaded our Welcome to NGINX homepage. All right. So at this point, we have successfully deployed an application to the cloud using AWS. All right. I'll see you in the next video.